as a judge has now agreed to postpone Donald Trump's sentencing in his hush money case until after the November election, granting him a hard reprieve as he navigates the aftermath of that criminal conviction and the home stretch of his presidential campaign. We are now about 59 days away from the election. Manhattan Judge Juan Merchan, who is also weighing a defense request to overturn the verdict on immunity grounds, delayed Trump's sentencing until November 26th, several weeks after the final votes are cast in the presidential election. It had been scheduled for September 18th, about 7 weeks before Election Day. Again, that move was made after Merchan wrote that he was postponing the sentencing to avoid any appearance, however unwanted, that the proceeding has been affected by or seeks to affect the approaching election, in which the defendant is a candidate. He added, "The court is a fair, impartial, and a political institution." Trump's lawyers pushed for the delay on multiple fronts, petitioning the judge and asking a federal court to intervene. They argued that punishing the former president and current Republican nominee in the thick of that campaign to retake the White House would amount to election interference. Trump's lawyers argued that delaying his sentencing until after the election would also allow him time to weigh next steps after Merchan rules on the defense's request to reverse his conviction and dismiss the case because of the U.S. Supreme Court's July presidential immunity ruling. In his order on Friday, Merchan delayed a decision on that until November 12th. A federal judge on Tuesday rejected Trump's request to have the U.S. District Court in Manhattan seize the case from Merchan's state court. Had that court been successful, Trump's lawyers said they would have then sought to have the verdict overturned and the case dismissed on immunity grounds. Trump is appealing the federal court ruling. Still, at this moment, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, which prosecuted Trump's case, deferred to Merchan and did not take a position on the defense's delay request. Messages seeking comment were left for Trump's lawyers and the District Attorney's Office. But at this point, Fox has not heard back. Election Day is November 5th, but many states allow voters to cast ballots early, with some set to start the process just a few days before or after September 18th. Trump was convicted in May on 34 counts of falsifying business records to conceal a $130,000 hush money payment to adult entertainment star Stormy Daniels just before the 2016 presidential election. Daniels claimed she and Trump had a sexual encounter a decade earlier after they met at a celebrity golf tournament in Lake Tahoe. Prosecutors cast the payout as part of a Trump-driven effort to keep voters from hearing salacious stories about him during his first presidential campaign. Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, paid Daniels and was later reimbursed by Trump, whose company logged the reimbursements as legal expenses. Trump maintains that the stories were false and that the reimbursements were for legal work and were logged correctly. The case brought by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg was part of a politically motivated witch hunt aimed at damaging his current campaign. Democrats backing their party's nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris, have made his conviction a focus of their messaging and speeches at the party's convention in Chicago last month. President Biden called Trump a convicted felon running against a former prosecutor. Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas labeled Trump a career criminal with 34 felonies, 2 impeachments, and 1 porn star to prove it. Trump's 2016 Democratic opponent, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, inspired chants of "lock him up" from the convention crowd when she said Trump fell asleep at his own trial. And when he woke up, he made his own kind of history, the first person to run for president with 34 felony convictions. So again, the basics here are that Trump's sentencing has now been postponed until after Election Day, with the new date set for November 26th. Of course, the official Election Day is November 5th. We'll keep you updated here as we get more.